NHL on TNT postgame show presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals. Colorado Avalanche take it down 3-2 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Some nervous moments late in this one as Tampa Bay threw everything at the Avs. But Colorado prevails. Now 8-1-5 on the season. Back here in the studio, Liam Biz, Ace, Hall of Famer Chris Chelios. All right, so about a month in to the season right now. I don't want to hear it's too early anymore. Let's just start talking. Let's go through this. Yeah. Most impressive team in the NHL, is it Colorado?
They're up there. I would put them as number one right now. High-flying offense, especially when they're healthy. I like the way that Malinsky kid's playing on D. I think they're stacked there. They addressed the goaltending last year. And if Nate just keeps showing growth and shows up in playoffs the way we've seen in regular season, I think they're the team to beat out West.
All right, I'll get your answer and your answer in just a second. But first, we got our guest here. Gabe Landeskog joins us. An assist, a fight. Back on with us. It's great to talk to you again. Does it feel like you're all the way back? I know you had a preseason fight, but I mean, come on. This is regular season fight. First since March 3rd, 2022. Does this mean you're all the way back now?
I don't know. I don't remember it being that hard to fight. I think Biz can attest to this, but when you fight at the end of a shift, it's not probably the smartest thing to do, so I was pretty tired. I needed the whole 5 minutes in the penalty box to rest up. So, but nonetheless, if you're not scoring, you got to get involved somehow, and you got to impact the game and bring something to the table, and that's what I try to do.
Landy, it's Ace. I'm not quite sure if you're all the way back, because if you were, you might have fought Lilleberg there at the end. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah. What was that conversation about? What were you guys talking about when you guys were kind of going back and forth?
Well, he was speaking Danish, and I started in English. Wasn't quite sure what language we were going, and then I switched to Swedish. So it wasn't the most productive conversation. And with 6 minutes, there's 6 minutes to go in a one-goal game. It just wasn't the time to do it. So, but nonetheless, I thought overall tonight, I thought we did a good job. Managed the emotions throughout. I thought the pace picked up as the game went on. A little sloppy at times here and there, but overall, I thought we did a good job and got away with the 2 points.
Landy, it's Biz. I got a few questions. First one being, how do you feel being back in action? And I know there was an emotional return last year, but you just kind of settling in and feeling normal again. Do you feel like you're your old self again?
No, I feel like I've got lots of work to do, but I will say this: I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving every minute of it. I don't necessarily feel like my game is where I want it to be, but I think that's maybe to be expected. Kind of, you're into the grind of things now, and last year in the playoffs, there's a lot of emotions and adrenaline, and the team and the systems, everything's clicking, and you're just kind of plugged in. So now it's more about kind of discovering your game again on a nightly basis with, travel and all the things that come with the grind of a season. So, but having said that, I want to play my best game when it comes to April, May, June. So we got time to get there, and teammates have been great supporting me. I haven't found the back of the net yet, but they're doing a great job of keeping me upbeat, and I'm honestly just loving every minute of being back. So scoring or not.
Well, it's glad to see you back. And my follow-up is just how do you feel about this group? I mean, you've won a cup before. How does it shape up? How are you liking the way that the group's playing?
You know what? I like our team a lot, first and foremost. And I think there's some similarities in our depth and our back end, the goaltending. And I think, having said that, this is a very hungry group. I think we, majority of us, except for maybe a couple of guys, lost together last year. And I think that fueled us over the offseason, and hungry group and motivated coming into this year. And we've been able to, collect some points here first month and a bit. Without really playing our best hockey. And I still think we're discovering what that is and what that looks like on a nightly basis. I think we've maybe wasted a point or two in overtimes that we'd like to play better in. So, but overall, like I said, you want to start well and start as strong as you can, but perfect your game as you go along. And I think there's a lot to that, as you guys know, and we got time.
Gabe, thanks so much for your time. Listen, we love seeing you back out there.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Great game. Good luck.
Thanks, Gabe.
All right, so he told you he likes the way this team looks, brings him back a little bit maybe to the championship years. It's still early in the season, but, I mean, with him back, so two-part question. is this the most impressive team? And you brought up the idea that one cup isn't enough for this squad. It feels like they would have won
with him back.
Yeah,
yes.
Like you see how much they were missing without him.
Absolutely.
Right?
And also, Brock Nelson came last year, late season acquisition, took him a little bit of time to get acclimated. His family wasn't really with him. Now I think that'll make a big difference come springtime for them. Mm-hmm. But I look at Cale Makar. He's leading the league in scoring from the defensive position. And watching him block shots late in the game, like he's not a liability. And Cheli, I know you could appreciate this because you're one of the top defensemen ever played the game. The fact that the coaches have to put him out there late and trust him in that position, I think the fans at home are seeing in real time why he's a perennial Norris Trophy candidate is the best defenseman in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, that's a playoff block. I mean, if I'm the coach, I'm cringing right when he's going down.
He's holding his hand after?
Thank you, my lucky stars he got up. But yeah, incredible player. How dynamic he was. And when he won the Conn Smythe, they put on a one-man show during the playoffs. So, and then you go back to Landeskog, too. He's out for such a long time, and he's been through so much. I think what he's talking about, and read between the lines, is his timing. He had a couple chances to bury some there, just not there yet, and hopefully he will get that back. But back to Makar, you see that block, and then you see him in front, physical, saved a goal right there. So, unbelievable player.
You talk to the people in Colorado, too, just having Landeskog back helps the room, too. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot off of Nate Dogg's shoulders. It allows Nate Dogg just go out there and do his thing and play well with Natchez, which he has so far in this regular season, and let Landeskog handle, some of the responsibilities of the captain that he really is.
Yeah, it definitely calms that locker room down, right? And I think it's been well documented. Nate can get a little hot sometimes, and it's nice to have somebody who's even keel, right? That Jekyll and Hyde. But going back to Makar, I mean, how many true number one defensemen do we have in our league right now where you can rely on in every situation, right? First power play, first PK. If the goalie's pulled for either team, he's on the ice. He's shutting down the other team's top line. So to see him violently block a shot the way that he did less than 20 games of the year, I agree with you. I'd almost want to just eat the minus at that point.
Joe's right. That's a playoff block. Right? That feels like in Game 7, everything is on the line. Block.
I'm going to win an overtime. I don't need that.
A playoff block.
Unreal.
On the other side, and I love the way this game ended up because we built it up as one of these benchmark games, right? Where so it's early in the season, but when people start talking about possible Stanley Cup preview, you want to be able to measure yourself against this team. Andrei Vasilevsky is a guy we've been talking about, whether or not he was still the man, still one of the guys that you would want one game on the line to win it all. I mean, goaltending looked pretty darn good tonight. I mean, 30 saves for Vasilevsky. Yeah,
it looked like he was moving well, and he was staying big. Like, that's the one thing, right? When he's moving east to west, like, he's still able to stay large and cover most of the net. Thought the rebound control was excellent, but, I mean, they had a lot of grade A's, especially on that early power play, the first one before they ended up cashing in on the number 2. But, yeah, he stood tall, and he kept him in it, and if he's kicking the way that he was in the past, during his Vezina campaigns, I think that they are just going to be lethal, and they could be that kind of dark horse in the East. I know everybody keeps having Florida at the top. I think a lot of people like New Jersey, but with the weapons that they have and getting goaltending, I really feel like they could slide in there.
And their back end. I'm a big fan of their back end with Moser and Hedman and McDonough and Chernak. That's a really solid top 4, and you can fill the other guys in as you seem fit. But that back end is really strong, and have that Vasilevsky back there also. I know we're kind of going back and forth about Braden Point, and he found his game. He found his game. He definitely found his game. Without a doubt, he's a lock for Team Canada, which he is.
Yeah, he's
he turned up the pace against a guy, Devon Taves, who could skate.
Yes.
And
that finish with the backhand.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Do you, we talked about the championship window being open, right?
Yep.
And we heard, Colorado speaking about it. I mean, you had to be concerned about Tampa Bay, right? I mean, it's been a few years. Their core is older. You still feel good about their window still being
Absolutely.
open?
All the pieces there. They lost to Florida. Florida wins the cup, right? You got to get through the best team. So, but again, like Vasilevsky, I think Cooper's going to manage his time more. In the past, he's one of those guys that wanted to play every game. You just can't do that anymore. And I think because of that, I felt he was tired the last couple of years, letting in goals he wouldn't let in. So John Cooper's going to manage that. They got the team the luxury, hopefully, of making the playoffs. and giving him his rest. And Paul, I think, is a big piece of this team. That guy gets them going too, changes the energy of a game with a hit, big play. So great game overall. And Tampa was right there, regardless of, their speed. And you got to expect their power play to come around sooner or later with all that talent. That's key for them too.
Well, you mentioned Florida. All I needed to see this preseason was that Florida-Tampa Bay game when they had that brawl. I think guys were suspended, guys were fined. That told me everything I needed to know about this Tampa Bay Lightning team. Is getting sick and tired of getting bullied by the Florida Panthers. Now, it's a matter of who's healthy at the right time near the end of the season, Biz. But the pushback is there. The pushback's definitely there, and they have the Stanley Cup pedigree to go with it.
Yeah, and then you talk about Tampa and what they typically do management-wise at the deadline. I feel like they have a strong middle of the ice. They're good with Cirelli, Point, and then when you mentioned when Nick Paul's healthy as a third-line center, I love the fact that they went out and got Yanni Gourde back too. Like he embodies what a Tampa Bay Lightning player is. He loves it there. He's comfortable there. So it's like, what are they going to go do? What's going to be that move as far as giving up assets of the future for right now? And typically they're able to part ways with their first rounders and maybe a prospect and go reload. So who's going to be the next Blake Coleman? Who's going to be the next Nick Paul? So if they're able to do that on top of what they already have and they stay healthy, I truly believe that they could end up coming out of the East.
We talk about, cores keeping their championship window open and teams getting older. Sometimes when you add certain players, you automatically get older. I mean, Chelios, you played seemingly forever. So whatever you were added to a team, you were making that team.
I thought you were saying the panel was getting older.
Well, we are. We're aging rapidly, but not because of you. It's
our credibility.
Listen, I know who I'm sitting next to. I'm aging at a crazy rate right now because of it. But you had Brent Burns to a roster, oldest player in the NHL, turned 41 in March. Now, listen, Brent Burns been around for a while, and I think we'll take a little trip down memory lane and see young Brent Burns. This is how long it's been. This is how long it's been. My goodness.
Jeez. I was drafted the same draft as him. I believe he went 19th or 20th overall to the Minnesota Wild. I hadn't even heard of the kid. And he ended up getting drafted. He stands up. He had a short sleeve dress shirt on. He's just cruising down. And next thing you know,
and he was a forward.
He was a forward. And then all of a sudden, he was they moved him to defense. And I think he made the team in Minnesota as an 18-year-old because he was such a freak with his fitness testing and everything. And I mean, look at the run he's been on, man. Over 1,400 games now. Or he just hit 1,500, didn't he?
Jazz
helped me.
15.
He just hit 1,500.
Yes.
So if you can last that long, man, that is just a freak of nature.
And he's still chasing our guy, right? I mean, there you go.
At least my hair is the same color. From beginning to end.
The frosted tips.
A little gray now, yeah. But whatever.
Well, at least you got rid of the unibrow.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened either, but yeah.
Anthony Davis over there.
Oh, man.
Hey, Cheli had some pretty sharp elbows too, Biz. Look out.
Yeah.
Cheli was good. He was good for a while, and then we get him at the end, and he's like, why did I come back?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be getting pumped in the break here.
I don't like any of you, and you're going to get an elbow to the face.
I've had against Brent Burns back today.